Hello, folks. Good afternoon. Welcome. This is Spoon TV. Kindly just let us know the quality of the audio for this conversation. Please let us know the audio quality. Just leave a comment briefly so that we can, if there is any need to do adjustments, can do those adjustments. But we here in an exclusive interview with Councillor J. Fonati Koffa. He is the chairman of the committee responsible to construct the modern headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change. He's been in the news. The CDC has slated the 18th of October as a blue day in Liberia. That day will mark the official groundbreaking ceremony for what will be a very modern headquarters built along the Totman Boulevard just around the Congo town area. But yesterday news broke that that project and the groundbreaking might just not happen after news broke that there was an impending lawsuit against the leadership of the CDC concerning what might have been charges ranging from criminal trespassing, criminal mischief, and a host of others. Councillor Koffa is the lawmaker. He is the councillor as well, so it's only best that we have this conversation with him. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for affording us this opportunity to have this conversation with you.
My pleasure.
How is the momentum, Councillor, before we get to everything else, how is the momentum leading up to the 18th of October for your historic groundbreaking ceremony?
The momentum is massive. Without any mobilization on our part, the number of partisans that will be out at the groundbreaking is just phenomenal. Between tomorrow and Friday, we start our own mobilization push, but I don't think it will require much effort on our part. A lot of partisans have reached out, sympathizers have reached out, independents have reached out, ruling party members have reached out, and we expect those people to contribute. We expect majority of them to show up.
You just mentioned ruling party members. And in a press conference given by your committee, spearheaded by you, you said, if I'm straight up the numbers, that I think 18% of contributors are from the ruling establishment. Are those people within government or just partisans of the Unity Party?
Majority of what we see are mid-level and very few senior level officials of government.
Of this current regime?
Of this current regime.
It's a senior level, Councillor Koffa. I know you are a Liberia man, you want to... Are they ministers, directors?
You want us to know us?
Yeah.
A couple of deputy ministers and one minister.
A couple of deputy ministers and one minister.
Sure.
One would be concerned whether that is not like double dipping or people who've got double alliances, or do you see it as something of a solidarity towards the CDC?
I don't know. I can tell you that a lot of people were outraged at the breaking down of our headquarters, the Bernard compound. A lot of people were disgusted, and some of those people have reached out from all across the aisle.
Not too Susu.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, but let's come to what transpired between last night up to this morning or mid-afternoon.
Sure.
There was news about a particular gentleman, Safi Edwardson, if I've got the name right, claiming that the property the CDC is to break grounds on. There was some 5,000 initial payment, and the deal was around 300,000. But first, do you know this individual in question? Have you had any interactions with this person?
Yes. After seeing the picture come out, then I realized I did not recognize the name. But then when the picture came out, I recognized the individual. So our main property is not big enough to hold the entire vision of what the CDC complex should be, right? So while we have the headquarters there and some facilities there, we sought to expand. So we have contacted all of the neighbors of the adjacent properties to enter into negotiations for sale. And he happens to be one that claims the property in the back.
Okay.
So I was taken aback that last night he said he had filed a writ. I was confused, so we tried to ascertain the facts. You know, right now we are in sensitive negotiation, so there are certain things we will not reveal, and there are certain postures we will not take because you don't want to kill your negotiation over emotionalism. So we had a meeting with him this morning. I believe that some nefarious individuals try to instigate him to distract and disrupt the groundbreaking ceremony. I think this morning he realized that he was pursuing the wrong path. We are back on course. I saw from the court the rate, which I had not seen, have been cancelled. And so I think we're back to the negotiation table for the portions of the lot that he said he owns, which will start again on after the groundbreaking. Let me be clear, there was no payment of $5,000.
Okay.
There was no negotiation on $300,000.
All right. So you positively did say that yes, you do know the individual.
Yes.
You had a conversation with him about purchasing to expand your project.
Yes.
But no payments were made whatsoever, and it doesn't affect where you'll be breaking ground tomorrow.
No, it does not. Well, when I say it doesn't affect, all of the neighbors in the area, including himself, have said to the extent that you need to use my property for parking, for other activities at the groundbreaking site, you're free to do so.
Okay.
So all of those we are talking to, including the land across the alley, will be using that for parking and for accepting contributions. The land in the back will be using it for cooking and other things, which is not our property.
Yeah.
It's not the main property, but people have consented that we use it. And so it was important that we get his consent to be able to do those kind of things.
Okay.
And again, we are in negotiations. We are talking, you know, and people are trying to disrupt. Remember the first thing they said, CDC property to the Overhead Bridge.
Yeah.
Right? When we debunked that, when we killed that, okay, they have now come up and tried to use an individual who realized now he's only trying to be used to disrupt and discourage the attendance for Saturday. But the good thing is, as I said, you know, I was not moved because I knew it couldn't have been coming from that individual. It was coming from people who were trying to influence him to disrupt Saturday's program. Get a rate, and then we'll send the police out there to make sure nobody go on the property, and whether or not it's CDC property or it's your property, we'll say it's all your property, and we can then disrupt and drive. And that has failed because the individual, as I said, we had a meeting this morning because I was confused as to his claim and his posture, and he said he immediately called to withdraw it. I think you see Jones and Jones, Councilor Cyril Jones, has denied, as it was reported, that he has participated in this latest failed attempt to disrupt the CDC.
Now, Councilor Koffa, from what I understood, you now do have permission from adjacent property owners to use their properties for parking lot, cooking of food, so nothing of that sort will lead to trespassing because you've got a consent from them.
That's correct.
Yeah. The project, according to you, it needs to be expanded, and you in negotiations with those who own properties around there. What are you looking at in terms of getting them, leasing, purchasing? Because you know what happened there at the burnout compound. The CDC, I'm sure, might have learned a lesson of getting your own. Are you looking into leasing, long lease, or purchasing? I know you said
everything will be on a purchase basis. Our primary headquarters that we own site, if we are to expand, our discussions have been purchase. Okay, everything will be in the name of the CDC. I mean, we could have gone, you know, some people say, oh, you know, the government will try to disturb you, so you're secretly be buying it, and you're putting in people's name, and you're doing things secretly. And you know, I had a conversation with the stand-up era. He said, look, we're a political party, we're doing nothing wrong. So we do everything in the name of the CDC because that's what our partisans own. That's what our partisans want to see. If the government wants to disrupt, if some individuals want to disrupt, we are prepared for them. And the caveat goes out. Okay, our citizens, our partisans are going to be out on Saturday, regardless of what you try to do. And please don't try to interrupt them. They are going to be peaceful. They are going to be law-abiding, and they are coming in their numbers. No doubt they will be in their numbers on Saturday.
The main property that you'll be carrying on the groundbreaking exercise on the 18th, what's the ownership like? Have you purchased it?
Yes.
Because we saw some different narratives on social media that it's owned by one Johnson in the States, and the property owes, I think, about $150,000 in taxes, allegedly. Have you been able to?
All of that is the propaganda. I will show you the taxes that have been paid on that property. I'm sorry you brought it up.
Yeah.
But I will show it. I'll show it to you. Taxes is all up to date on the taxes. the Johnson name is a new name to me. Look, when I built this building that we're in now, a week after we moved in, somebody came and said they own this property. You know, I'm still here 3-4 years later. Okay, property issue in Liberia, everybody tries to claim property. You know, they even have cartel that does that. So the fact that somebody may come up last minute to say, I own this piece of property, it doesn't move me, right? Because the records will be there, we'll go through the title search, we'll be able to prove our title. So I'm not perturbed by that. What we see with this latest attempt, as with the previous one, was simply an attempt to disrupt. Okay, first they said the bridge project was disturbing. Then they came and said, oh, the program has been cancelled. Okay, there was one floating around briefly and said the program has been cancelled, and then finally they came yesterday and said, oh, there's an owner that's claiming. I'm not going to disparage him again, as I said, because I think he does have some claims, legitimate claims in that area, and we are interested, you know, so we're not going to disparage anyone. We are in negotiations, and when it's finalized, there will be acquisition.
There are those who are what I want to term conspiracy theorists. Those who have said all this is just the latest attempt by the CDC to raise pseudo-alarm, and that, oh, there's some attack when there isn't one. You planted your own agent to create more publicity and to make it look like the CDC is under attack. What do you have to say to those who are saying that it's your own thing that you just planted, and to come out and make it look like the party is under attack?
Okay, so when people run out of ideas, they come up with some dumb theories, right? And that's one of the dumbest theories. Why would what benefit would I get from bringing land dispute as a way of playing victim, when that alone would have distracted or would have caused a commotion for the event that I'm trying to have? I'm trying to bring as many people to the side as possible. Then I will create a situation where maybe I don't own it. No. So again, we have to pay attention. These folks are desperate.
Okay. So these folks, which folks are you?
Well, the ruling party and their surrogates and their stooges that come out with their dispatch to put on this so-called thing they call propaganda, because they only understand, okay, the only thing they understand is propaganda. And it is failing by the day, because like people have caught onto it. Okay, they have caught onto it. So these lies, these machinations, this use of state resources to witch hunt people, to do all these kind of things, are not working anymore. So to say we caused this is only the latest attempt to cover up a failed plan to disrupt the program on the 18th.
The CDC as an opposition force, what fear factor do they strike? According to you, the ruling establishment is coming up with all sorts of things. What sort of fear factor do they strike in the ruling UP?
Well, you just have to look at the evidence. Every time they say CDC, the people go berserk. They go crazy with hate. They go crazy with confusion. All those kind of things. Just look at it. You know, the arrival of President Weah caused police to go out there in helmets and all of that, okay, to try to prevent that momentum. It didn't. Okay, the very thing they were preventing our partisans from doing when President Weah arrived, they did it when President Boyka arrived with the rented crowds.
You say rented crowds?
Yeah. So, but you saw the video. This is not something I'm going to say. The woman say, I'm here for my benefit. Okay, because somebody told us, if you go there tomorrow, you will get your benefit. All right. So this second attempt, this attempt to disrupt the party headquarters is the fear of the CDC, and we all know that.
The proposed site is just right along the Totman Boulevard, and you know, you just said it, the mobilization is so huge. You haven't done much, but your partisans are in so much, you know, eagerness to be there for the groundbreaking. Now, have you sought any sort of intervention from the police in terms of crowd management, traffic controls, and the rest, so that it doesn't impede the movement of others?
The chairman, as a law-abiding party that we are, have written the Minister of Justice that we are groundbreaking on Saturday. The Minister of Justice has responded that he would like to have a meeting tomorrow on Thursday with the chairman, so they can go over the modalities of making sure the groundbreaking is peaceful and is effective.
Away from the groundbreaking, the proposed construction of the CDC's modern headquarters. Let's talk legislative politics a bit. Yesterday we saw the now Speaker Richard Kuhn, you know, others have said in a very aggressive and assertive way, telling his colleagues what to say and what not to say, if you want to call it censorship. And what's your take on that? You control that house.
My take is majority rules, as they said. That's what the majority voted for. That's what we will.
So in short, you're saying they should take their own medicine?
In short, I'm saying no comment.
No comment.
Yeah.
Okay. Councillor Koffa, thank you so much for granting us this interview.
My
it was
pleasure.
impromptu, but thank you for granting us your audience as well. So folks, you listen to Councillor J. Fonati Koffa. He's the head of the CDC's committee for the construction of their modern headquarters. Have said no matter the level of intimidation, they're not deterred. The CDC is going to go out with their construction work, their groundbreaking on the 18th, and whatever qualms the individual had has been resolved. And in fact, adjacent property owners have given them the consent to use their properties for car park, food, the preparation of food and other activities, and his partisans should be out in their numbers to grace the occasion. My name is Diamond Slanger. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.